Right. Nan and Pop, why are you still in the donkey old house? We're going to talk about moving the oldies out of the once clever house turned dumb. Stay tuned.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
Joshua Wapshot,
Mark, Novak,
how
good
are you
morning.
this morning?
Yeah, good. Pumped. Wednesday, open home day, and of
Hump
course,
day.
that's right, hump day, halfway through the week. And what a way to start it on Morning Minutes this morning.
Oh man, it's good. It's a great time. Guys, this is my favorite time of the year. It's my favorite month of the year. And we've just begun. The weather's out and Christmas is coming. So can't wait.
Definitely, definitely. And then we've got an interesting topic this morning: the clever house turned dumb. I think you were making it out to the oldies, but there's actually some other couples in and amongst it too now taking the plunge when it comes to downsizing. I know I wanted to share a specific scenario that I've recently got to meet and become very good friends with this client, a family,
Yep.
currently living up in Belrose. All started from a phone call off a listing we had up for sale down in DY. And that phone call turned into an appointment at the Casa del Mar, and then
Amazing.
one apartment turned into two potentially turned into three. So I had this beautiful couple I met up at the Casa del Mar. For them, they were living up in a beautiful home in Belrose. They had the pool, the grass, a lovely home. But for
Yes.
them, the kids were getting to an age where the eldest was out of the home. The two young girls were on their way out. One had just finished their studies. One was just getting into it. So you had those young adult children, and they thought, I'm not going to be mowing the grass anymore. I'm not cleaning the pool, and you know what? I wouldn't mind living in a little bit of luxury. And from that thought there, we arrived at the point we are now where, they're looking at a beautiful 3-bedroom east-facing apartment on level 5 up in the Casa del Mar project. The
Yep.
girls are about to exchange on a 2-bed, 2-bath, 1 car up on level 6. And then the
Wow.
son's left to go with another 2-bedder. So pretty much the entire family has gone from their family home. They've been up there 10, 15 years in Belrose, and they're now all going to be moving into the same development together over at the Casa del Mar. So, they'll all be neighbors in a way. And I just wanted to share that because I thought it was also interesting starting to see not your traditional, 70, 80-year-olds that are, sort of saying maintenance is enough now, I'm done with the family home. We're actually starting to see those families in their, late 40s, 50s. Mark, you've done it yourself coming from a house to a unit.
It's big, and I think it's well, for us personally, it's been super efficient and fun. And I think for what you're seeing this family do, traditionally Australians have, you stay in the donkey old house and you die in the donkey old house. You get taken out in a box in the donkey old house. And people are attracted for so many, reasons, beautiful reasons, memories, that they've brought up their kids in the home and even their grandkids in the home. But then I think it gets to a stage where, it's more than enough. It's too much in terms of maintenance, and it's too much in terms of size, and it's too much with all of that upkeep, throughout that property. So they end up turning around and saying, you just do it, and it's sometimes it's good, but I think with your couple, I think it's genius where they've set the kids up, which we all worry about, for sure. And then we they've setting themselves up for a beautiful life where they can just lock it up and leave if they want to travel around Australia, around the world.
Yeah, definitely. I think that they were looking for that escape a little bit closer to the beach coming from Belrose. And I think this scenario, we're just having a discussion before coming on air, guys. If this is an existing unit block, this sort of scenario isn't happening. It's good to share the positives and how people are using off the plan opportunities to match their needs and requirements. Because for them, they're given now a leeway time of 12 to 18 months to get the house ready. The girls, by purchasing their first property, obviously a massive step. You're getting yourself in the knack of saving and having to pay that mortgage. It's a bit of a preparation for them as well. So I think it's a beautiful thing. I mean, I've obviously purchased over there myself, but it's very interesting to see the real trend change more. You're seeing it more often than not now, where these downsizers are looking at units and guys are doing quite well. I think another big part of why they bought in the Casa Del Mar project is they saw the value. They saw what prices were at in surrounding areas and properties and thought, hey, I'm getting a brand new unit with beautiful finishes.
It's
I'm not
cheaper.
going to have to renovate for the next 10, 15 years. Turnkey, I walk in, I'm a lifestyle, I'm down near the beach, I'm close to shops. It just ticked every box, but definitely wouldn't have thought this would be possible without an off-the-plan opportunity like the Casa Del Mar. And it looks like it's going to be a harder thing to find. I know we've had a couple of podcasts around the building costs and things like that and acquiring land. So, it'd be good to see people take more advantage of these opportunities while they're there.
Do you think the fact that they're all in one building that helped? Like, because it's pretty rare that you'll get to, you don't get to buy two units in one building. That just doesn't, like, in our area it doesn't happen. It's rare, not even in the same street. Was that an attraction for them?
Look, I think definitely it was in a way. I mean, when we were down there, we had the second, third time over at the Casa and we brought the girls down, showed them their units. And I think it was a real selling point for the parents. Obviously, young adults, you're out with your friends on the weekends working away. You're generally getting home at 2, 3 a.m. sometimes. Well, that's the stories they were telling me on that Saturday saying, oh, Elle got in at 2 o'clock last night. She's a little bit worse for wear. So I think it was a selling point for the parents there, knowing that, someone's sick, walk down across to their unit. Mum looks after you, that idea that they can go and visit them at any time. It was a big selling point, I think, mostly for the parents and knowing that they're right around the corner and they're still looking after their babies.
The pantry as well, the pantry of mum and dad is just there.
Oh, it is. That's a big one. That's a big one for sure. So I think you're definitely right on that. But
So, guys, if you've just tuned in, we're talking about the concept of the incredible, beautiful, amazing, perfect home turning after a long period of time and doing its wonderful job. Sometimes it can work against you or be not so perfect. And we've got an example today where Josh has got a beautiful family. They're actually buying 3 apartments in the one building and selling the family home. Josh, do you reckon the lead time was helpful? Because what these guys are buying is new, so they have to wait for it to be finished. So it's going to be 6 months or 7 months before they actually can move. Was that a good thing for these guys?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we were, we've still got a few times that I've got to go over to their place because the idea will be that, we'll be going over and assisting them on things we think might work best for them when it comes to time to sell. So it's been helpful in that way in regards to giving some tips and points on, what the market looks for. So preparation and selling time, getting the house right, making sure they're maximizing and getting every dollar out of the market. That's been a really big point for them because they live busy lives. Like one works for a big network, a Channel 9 network. So, they're busy people. So getting an idea on working on that scenario and getting the house ready, getting the kids ready for the big move. Obviously, it's a big thing. And just obviously Yeah, it's a massive move, Mark. And you're not moving one person, you're moving three. So definitely, like I said, I don't think this would happen unless you had that sort of leeway and flexibility. Obviously, to get the house ready when you're moving something you've been in for 10, 15 years, that's a big process. Getting it ready for sale, getting the kids ready for the move, getting themselves ready for the idea of moving as well. Obviously, we see it. A lot of people downsizing from houses, whether they're young or old. The first couple of units they walk in, they generally say, wow, this is a great unit. But it's just such a big difference from coming from a house where I have windows on every wall, every side of every wall.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that whole process has really helped them in making sure that it's the right decision for them as well. So I think that's really important.
So in summary today, what we're saying is, guys and girls, if if the house is getting too much, you do have options. Have a look at, particularly if your family's still with you, like this example, have a look at off the plan units. It could you could may well find you get good selection. You're not just like, I have to buy that one, it's the only one. You get, all different aspects of the building, all different price points, and then bring your kids with you. Set them up.
Exactly. No better investment than property, guys.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right, Josh.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, guys. And just know that it's becoming more and more relevant, and you're not the only one. If you're thinking it, you're done with maintenance, done with the big home, and looking for a bit of luxury, convenient living. Thanks, guys.
Do it. Do it. Do it. See ya.